An ambitious project to harvest trees that were drowned when Tasmania's remote Pieman River was dammed is closer to reality. The Tasmanian company preparing the complicated underwater harvesting is already salvaging rare and valuable timbers. As Fiona Breen reports, the logs have undergone rigorous testing and so far...
In all, 17 logs from an underwater forest have been salvaged by a Tasmanian company planning to log several hydro dam lakes. The project won a $5 million federal government grant after surveys and testing found the salvaged timber was viable. The logs cut in May have also gone through a round of tests at the University of Tasmania's School of Architecture. Associate Professor Greg Nolan has been overseeing the project.
The material that we've converted out of the boards has actually looked quite good. We've done recoveries on the material, given the shape and size and configuration of the logs that we received, and the recoveries have been quite satisfactory. The quality of the boards, they dried well and they dried relatively quickly, and then my colleagues who've been making the things out of it have been quite surprised that it works really nicely, and it has a different character to the material that we would normally get from a harvested tree.
The forests were flooded when the Reese Dam was constructed on the Pieman River, forming a 50-kilometre long lake. It was part of a multi-dam scheme built by Hydro Tasmania during the peak of the state's dam building era under controversial Premier Robin Gray.
It's a development which Tasmania can be proud of, which the Hydroelectric Commission can be proud of, and which all the workmen down here can be proud of.
Some timber was salvaged before the flood, but there's still a big resource underwater. Darren Crook is managing the Pieman operation. He's hoping it'll be the first of many hydro lake harvesting jobs. All the machinery is being specially adapted to the underwater process, with much of it mirroring normal forest harvesting operations.
So it really is an upside-down crane, so instead of going like this, we're going down here.
Yep, that's exactly right. And this is the telescopic arm is pretty much based on a crane sort of design, except it doesn't need as much force because it's not pushing it up, it's lowering it by gravity downwards.
The harvester sits on a barge. Its operator will be guided by a camera at the end of the boom. The log will be sawn off at depths of up to 26 metres and hauled to the surface.
It's essentially 1 cubic metre of timber, weighs about 1.9 tonnes. And so it is heavy, and that's quite unique in the world of underwater harvesting, whereas in particular the myrtle and the eucalypt is quite heavy, and we've got to design our barge and our excavator to be able to pull that log up once it's cut.
20,000 cubic metres of this forgotten resource will be pulled out of the Pieman each year. The project's due to last for about 5 years, but there's enough timber underwater to keep harvesting for double that. Once the project is in full swing, they'll be harvesting and then milling Huon pine, sassafras, myrtle, king billy, blackwood and eucalypt.
The properties of the eucalypts and the drying characteristics of the eucalypts are going to need to be confirmed, and it's likely that some of that material will also be used in strength-related applications, so there's going to need to be some additional strength work done.
The company says the timber will have Australian certification. They're also hoping to get forest stewardship certification. Either way, it'll be marketed as a unique, premium drowned timber product, and they're expecting it'll be easy to sell.